Good evening, friends. This is Dr. Mangesh. Good evening, Nakul sir.
Good afternoon.
Good evening, sir.
इंटरनेट बंद चल
We will start our session within 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Noted. Thank you.
Just a few more participants for 2 more minutes and then we will start it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hello everyone, a very good evening to all. I am Nimisha Parihar from Knowledge Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Welcome you all in this very productive webinar on IT and cybersecurity. We have our esteemed speakers, Mr. Mangesh Amale, founder of Velox Solutions Private Limited. The ultimate mission of Dr. Mangesh's journey is to make Velox a prominent name in the area of cybersecurity across the globe. What started with a wish to save people from cyber threats and attacks is now surging to define comprehensive cybersecurity to clients around the world. His mission includes taking his team of employees and leaders to the next level of career opportunities. As a leader who can focus on not just growth but overall growth of his team, and he's a sensational personality to work with. He's also the chairman of Cybersecurity Maharashtra chapter of KCCI. We have Mr. Dhruv Pandit,
Thank you,
founder of
ma'am. And namaste to you all. Thank you.
we have Mr. Dhruv Pandit, founder of Heritage Cyber World. He is a cybersecurity expert and specialized cyber defense. He is having an expertise of more than 7 years in cybersecurity and holds more than 10 certificates in cybersecurity. His interests are doing research work in cybersecurity for maintaining the cybersecurity of system. He recently received Times Men of the Year 2023 title featured in Times of India Nation Security. He's also the chairman of Cybersecurity Gujarat chapter in KCCI. We have Mr. Minesh Doshi, director of Silver Touch Technologies Limited. He is a qualified computer engineer and technology profession with profound experience in process and quality management, software engineering, project and operational management. As a human resource management, he is a keen planner and strategist. Mr. Doshi has demonstrated initiative and leadership in driving organization on the technology and engineering front with an intensive focus on total quality management. We also have Dr. Amit Joshi, the director of KCCI. He is an entrepreneur and researcher who has completed his graduation BTech in IT and MTech in computer science and engineering, and completed his research area in cloud computing and cryptography in medical imaging with focus on analysis on the current government strategies and world forums, and he needs a different sectoral security purposes. He is majorly focusing on academic tie-ups for medical, engineering, and management sectors. So I welcome you all. I also welcome all the participants. Now, I would like to inform you that on the occasion of KCCI's 6th annual day, we are organizing MSME Convention 2023 at Ahmedabad in December 2023. The dates will be announced soon. So today, as we see, internet has become an important part of our lives. Almost everything we do requires internet. Let's face it, everything from instant messaging, banking, emailing, shopping, and even traveling. None of these can be done without internet. Moreover, the growing need of internet protecting our information and data has also become necessary. Whether to you or whether if you are a company or a business or you are simply a habitual of user, you can be aware of how the cyber threats are also there and who are the cyber criminals. So by this, I would like to invite Mr. Amish Joshi for the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Hello, everyone. First of all, Nimisha, thank you for a vast background of all the speakers. And I am really happy to see that this evening we have a variety of prominent speakers from the IT industry who are our members also, as well as who are doing their best into the IT framework to give something to the country, to reach this India in this digital times at a new age, at a new level. So I welcome you all personally. And as already Nimisha said that we are celebrating our 6th Foundation Day celebration. So for this organizing convention. For this convention, before as a pre-events, we are organizing 10 webinars. So one of this webinar is also a part of that series of 10 webinars. Last few days back, we did one, and this is the second one, and it will follow till 30th of November in this month. Also, I would like to say that on the 6th anniversary of our chamber, we are promoting membership of KCCI for a complimentary membership of 3 years. So I request everyone to log into the website, and it's a purely digital format membership. You can just log into the website www.knowledgechamber.org and become a member and make yourself or your company take the benefits of what KCCI is providing to you. I think this is the right kind of forum, and we say ourselves as the youngest chamber of commerce and industry, and we really are, and we have done a lot of things in terms of organizing events, connecting with the government, creating diplomatic relations outside the country, as well as we at various forums in exhibitions and events and all that. But the major benefit is about for KCCI is we are also providing B2B help and support to the ecosystem where companies can come together and have their businesses. So it's a right opportunity. It's a complimentary membership. Do join us, and we always believe that we are stronger together. So with this, I will not waste much time, and I will invite the first who is the founder of Velox Solutions Private Limited, the theme of IT and cybersecurity. Over to you, Mr. Mangesh.
Thank you, Dr. Amit, for the introduction. Friends, first of all, I would like to congratulate KCCI for the 6th anniversary in row and the initiative what they have planned for IT and cyber security discussion. So, friends, at the beginning, when my colleague she spoke about internet and the threats which are coming from an internet. So, I would like to express my feelings in a broader way. Though we consider internet operative threats as a cyber risk to our company, our life, or to our country, but apart from that, internet is basically a small portion of a global network. So we all are connected with a global network. Global network may include your mobile devices which are connected via you can say data, you can say Wi-Fi, your PC or laptop or your any other device which is connected in your environment uh, without an internet, that is also a network, and that is also prone to have a threat from the network. So internet is basically one portion on which we normally focus to have threats. But friends, that is not actually a correct way to analyze the threats of cybersecurity. So one is what means I'm just exploring something over here. I'm considering one example in which an organization has got 6 branches, and those branches are connected over VPN network, right? So VPN network is a private network, and and that is not giving any kind of access to outside network in the form of an internet. But yes, if threats are circulating over an VPN, all those 6 branches will get affected. How? So one is what if I am carrying something in my pen stick, we call it USB stick or pen drive or any other medium, and if I connect that to my laptop or to my device which I normally use here in my organization, the threat will enter in your network and it will crack the network security and it will spread across 6 branches. So, and thus the security and the data security will get compromised. So even if the internet is not there, but threat exists, and for that there are various solutions available. Company like Velox, where I worked and I founded, we have created n number of solutions to protect. So one is what endpoint security, second is what XDR, MDR, data leak prevention, we call it DLP, patch management, hard disk encryption. So nearly to run your endpoint securely, you need to have 7 different security tools running on your machine. So which are those? One is EDR, XDR, patch management, DLP, then asset management. So all these 7 tools you need to run on your machine or a system to protect your environment. Second is what? Then the network. Network is a layer through which you normally transmit your data from one branch to another branch. So that network should get in the secured form. Then in such case you need to have network monitoring system, though the network monitoring system is not a cyber security system, but it also analyze the data traveling from X location to Y location. So I'm just saying for the sake of an understanding, if X location is transmitting the data to Y location by the rate, say 5 kbps ka packet, right? And suddenly the packet size got increased, and then your network monitoring system monitored it. Okay, this could be a possible attack. So, though network monitoring system is not an security system, but it analyzes. On the top of that, we do have a SIEM running on it: SIEM, SOAR, and UBA. So these 3 tools you require to protect your network. So what it does, that has to be discussed and understand here. So one is what the tool which will get set up in the form of SIEM, it will analyze traffic, it will analyze the packets, and it will also analyze the traffic on the network. And the basis on that, it will capture some log. Then those logs will be analyzed, processed. Then, on the basis of the engine available in SIEM, the threat will be identified. So, like by endpoint, server, and network. So, the threat which was there in endpoint, if pass it to a network, then network monitoring system and SIMS or UBA, which is placed on the network, will identify that threat and respond it back to a normalcy. This is what. So, Dr. Amit, this is what I can say at this point of time. But in the dialogue and in the continuation, I will also speak more. Over to you, Dr. Amit. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Yes,
much for
sir.
the knowledge you have shared, sir.
Yeah.
And now I would like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Minesh Doshi, for sharing their valuable knowledge. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And first of all, congratulations, KCCI, for completing 6 years. And it's happy to see the growing IT community and the various activities you do. So coming back to this topic, IT and security. So the context set by Dr. Mangesh and Dr. Amit Joshi on the entire topic. And we have seen, IT industry evolve in last 30, 40 years, right from, server computing to the distributed computing to cloud computing. And now as Mr. Mangesh said, it's all mobile is basically a network now. So every mobile is itself is a network. So the idea has evolved a lot around the compute infrastructure, what we have and what we have been using to embrace the data and various IT systems, and we just exposed now to the public domain with internet. And as you rightly said, that there are a lot of networks and internet is one of them. But yeah, I think the most prominent network which connects the globe is internet without any boundaries. And if you look at the, I would like to speak more on the IT application side and IT consumer side, when we as end user, access a lot of application or mobile apps on the internet domain, right? And what are the key parameters, one should look at, when you do the use of such IT systems or applications or online transactions per se, what you are doing. So one is the most important is authenticity of the application or the mobile app which you are accessing. Most of the time we have seen that there is a lot of initiative that don't click on any links which is coming through the emails or through SMS or various forwards you receive, and those links can be misleading and can end up in going into the fake site. So that's, as a consumer, what are our the basic responsibility to consume any IT applications or IT apps online. So this is an awareness issue which is on daily basis. There's a lot of awareness being spread by various institutes, governments, banks, online companies, the consumer companies, e-commerce companies. Everyone is doing a lot on their part to educate end user and make sure that they are not getting into trap of some misleading apps or applications which is there on internet and which would like to do a fraudulent activity. Okay. So that's the first part of it, which I would recommend that be aware about what are genuine application, what are the applications available, and from where to download and how to access those applications. So that's one part. The second part is internet. So we all are using internet on data platform as mobile or maybe internet connectivity at home. But when you go to public internet places, that's very important, where you go into the public Wi-Fi zones, maybe on airport or anywhere in restaurants or any other place, and you trust those networks. Okay, so that's a very critical aspect, where if you are doing any kind of financial transactions, using such connection, then you must not trust the open network connections which is available in public, which has a lot of security limitation, of course, in terms of providing security to the application you are accessing, or security to your own device from where you are accessing that particular apps or application. So that's the second responsibility what we have, that how to access application or apps and data in the public domain. Okay. The third, which is very important, is the multi-factor authentication. So now most of the applications, when you are accessing, let's say, bank account or any other transactions, we want to make sure that you are the real person doing the transaction and not someone else is doing transaction on your behalf. So we strongly recommend to have the multi-factor authentication enabled on all such critical applications. So when I say multi-factor authentication, it's you get OTP on your mobile number, and when you try to access any application or data, you get an OTP on your email ID or on your mobile number, which is registered with those apps or those utilities, online utility providing. And you make sure that those things are available with those apps or the IT applications which are giving very critical services to you. And that's very important, where the trust is established between you and the service provider, that the information access is secure, and it is only the you as a registered person, having your mobile or the email ID registered with those applications, are given the OTP, one-time password, and that using those password you are accessing the applications. So that's on the access side, and list goes on and on and on, as see a lot of mobile apps coming in, a lot of e-commerce apps coming in, a lot of banking apps coming in, a lot of phone-based transaction apps coming in. And these are the standards, on the security front, which is being there. Okay. There are various other aspects by which the data and privacy or the frauds are happening, which is via phone or via sharing it OTP, or unknown links which is coming to your way and you are clicking those links. So these are the ways we should prevent, as a internet consumer or responsible citizen trying to access the online applications. Because as everyone said that you can't live without internet now, because more and more applications are going online, and that's the reason, as a consumer, we must be educated at how we should access the important applications or apps, and how we should prevent the data. The fourth important aspect is social media, where everyone is using maybe 2 hours, 4 hours, or less than 1 hour of their day's time on social media platforms to share information for fun, for learning, for education, for entertainment, OTT content, a lot of things we consume on the social media. And there is a lot of ways, we should protect our information going public on the social media platform, including your personal information, including your mobile number, email ID, and your family details, your date of birth. So make sure that whatever social media platforms you are consuming, you are putting the highest security standards on your account setting, and not disclosing any information to anyone without your permissions, or without you knowing that your information is being used by someone else. So this is again a big discussion right now, where we expose a lot of personal information on the social media, and how we want to use or restrict those information on these social platforms. So yeah, I think it's a whole new topic where that leads to a lot of data leakage, a lot of fraudulent activity, a lot of honey trap being set, for the internet user or mobile apps users or the famous apps users, in terms of getting hacked or getting security threats on their personal data or information or financial information. So yeah, I think so that's more on the consumer side. I just wanted to highlight that these are the basic points, and as the figure comes that we have 80 crore mobile user, and out of that maybe 55 or 60 crore is about they are using the internet or using the data. So it's a huge number of population which is consuming a lot of online applications or apps or information online. And so this is the basic thing where, as a IT industry or the regulatory body or the forums like this must have, clear guidelines and have multiple programs in educating the end user to set up their access policy, access mechanism, and spread awareness towards the IT security. So as it is said, the prevention is better than cure. So before you get, the security threats or you get some kind of, security fraud with you or your profile or your family member, it's always, better to protect yourself against all these things by doing very simple, follow the simple things, simple steps, and make sure that you are complying all the security norms set up by all the apps provider and all the government regulatory bodies. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Minesh. And I think we have Mr. Dhruv with us. Nimisha, we have Mr. Dhruv with us.
Dhruv sir is actually not able to join. He is still in Mumbai and he is not able to pick the call. So he left a message with us.
No worries, no worries, no worries. Then I have two questions for Mr. Amale and Mr. Minesh. So, how do you see India's digital revolution, which has changed the IT and the security industry totally in India in last decade? And what do you think will be the future in the next decade ahead? So I'll start with Mr. Magnesh. Mr. Magnesh, please.
Okay. So, Dr. Amit, you said um, India's IT revolution. So I'll term it with two things. One is what? India's contribution to IT revolution globally. That is one. And second is what? India's IT revolution within the country, right? So one is what, last 22 years we are witnessing the contribution what we Indians has done for the growth of IT across the globe. So we proudly say the more than 60% companies which are big size giant companies where Indian CEOs are ruling the globe. That is one. Apart from that, Microsoft, Oracle, and many such companies holds more than 20 to 30% IT resources in the form of their core strength. That is one. So majority of Indians are involved in developing next generation IT technologies. That is for sure. Means this statistics is available on the net and in the media too, right? So we have contributed hugely in the growth of India, means IT relation globally. That is one. Second is what, when it comes to India, so India's population is more than of 140 crore now, and and young population is also a strength, right? But when it comes to use of IT, you means I'll take you guys back to 2014, where we used to go to branch and transact, means bank branch I'm saying, and we used to go to bank and its branch and transact locally. Then after that, in the year 14, 12 to 14, there were three circulars in which RBI has specifically insisted banks to get into computerization using core banking, and those banks moved to core banking platform. But government of India, through its initiative, insisted these banks to use UPI. So UPI is a platform through which you can transact with your mobile, even if you text, the amount will get credited, or if you can scan, the amount will also get credited or debited. Likewise the scene is on the contrary to it. When it comes to globally develop, means global uh, initiation towards payment gateways, such initiation towards payment gateways, you will not find such kind of arrangement in Europe and even in US. So this is what we contributed in the form of banking and iteration associated with it. Second is what, as I said, we have young population and which is contributing heavily in the growth of India. The mission what central government has pushed on to us is by the end of 2047, India will be developed country. On the ground of that, not only government, but our companies, our people also working towards it, so as to have a complete digitization and IT enabled use. We started using, core, we started use of core banking, we started use of UPA, we started atomizing our homes now, we started using our machineries, and those machineries also getting protected via OT security nowadays. So this is what the contribution we Indians have made in the revolution of IT, not only in India but globally.
Thank you. Mr. Minesh, if you have any views on this of India's digital revolution, what have been past and what is the future?
Yeah, I think it's a everyone can experience the IT, and no need to speak more about that. But I think few things which India is leading in front in terms of the IT systems usage in the large public sector programs. So I would like to highlight few programs which India run and very successfully we have implemented. So first is the largest vaccine program, COVID, which is India has done online. And I will agree with Dr. Mangesh that no country in the world has such a beautiful digital footprint on the vaccine program, including America. It's all on paper. The way the program has been run, and it's a UN study right now, and many the MBA's program, they do study this vaccination program, that how IT platform, transform the India's healthcare system, and fight against COVID. So this is a great example where India lead from front in the consumption of mass IT level programs, and which is really challenging with more than 20 to 30 languages we speak all around India, and more than 100 crore people took advantage of the vaccine, and how we avoided the counting of who took vaccine and when, and exactly which vaccine they took and when they took, and when even you received alerts that your vaccine is now due for second dose or third dose. So this is quite significant with such a large database and the diverse population across country. So that's the one example. The second example we briefly touched is the UPI platform, which is developed as the payment gateway platform, and it is so seamless. And I would say their accuracy is 100%, I would say, and it has never failed. I have not seen someone saying that I did a UPI transaction and it didn't went through, for even 20 rupees or 5 rupees. So that's the strength that how IT can be embraced with such a large country, and the kind of users you have, which is almost illiterate to the highly literate. They all can use the same platform to transact on digital money, and this is truly significant in terms of the embracing IT in masses, the platforms. The third is DBT, or direct benefit transfer program, which the government runs, and crores of beneficiaries get subsidy directly into the bank, and that removes the middleman, that removes the any kind of leakage in terms of getting the benefit from the government. So it's huge, be it's electricity benefit or gas subsidy, or your grain subsidy or the agriculture subsidy, any kind of schemes, you get DBT. And that's the classic example where not one time but multiple time, by multiple government agencies, it's been used, and that's quite heavily successful. So I think there's no doubt India is leading in front in terms of consuming the IT at mass level, and it has really mastered how to run the framework of IT applications, platforms, and how we can leverage those things for benefit of people and benefit of citizens as a country. So that's the one thing. Second, I think on the private sector, significant success story is fintech, and I would agree that the kind of fintech revolution we have. Dr. Mangesh touched upon the banking, which is a very small part of it right now, because if you look at the equity market, derivatives market, stock exchanges, and the kind of other fintech operations online, right from insurance to loans, you'll be surprised that you get loans within 59 minutes, less than 1 hour with any banks, and you have multiple offers. So that's the kind of platform we have, which exists in India, and I've not seen such a great footprint of fintech companies and fintech services being offered to masses, all across the world. So fintech is definitely a very big revolution, and a lot of innovation is going on, in terms of all kind of finance services, finance product offerings, and the way seamlessly you can transact everything, very securely from your mobile app or from the computer application is something which is quite remarkable. So yeah, I think with all proliferation of all these apps and data, and more citizens or users are relying on IT, it's becoming a threat in a way that how we secure it, and what measures we take to secure the data, to prevent any kind of leakage. And most importantly, how we set up the legal framework. Okay, and that's where I think we have a new data privacy law which is just passed in Parliament. How your data is being stored, how your data is being transmitted, and how you can keep your data private, and how you can keep control over your data. So that's very important, where a lot of data is being shared in public domain. how do we control it, and how do we make sure that data is secure, and henceforth all the transactions or any kind of online transactions happening is being secured. So I think, it goes, it's like two side of a coin, that you offer more and more services online, more versatile services, more fascinating services, more user friendly services. But on the other end, how do you protect the interest of end user? How do you protect their data? How do you protect their financial transactions? So this is very, very important, as a country and as a IT industry, to build platforms, build applications, and store data and transmit data in such a way that this is secured and user is getting confidence in all this online. Yeah, sorry, I lost you all for a while. But yeah, I think we discussed about the IT application proliferation and how we should do the security of all the applications and data and financial transactions. Thank you.
So we are open to take the questions now. So the participants, if you have any questions, you can ask to our speakers. Any questions? You can also leave your question in the chat box and we can read it. Our speakers will definitely answer it. So someone is asking, I am not from IT background nor engineering. How to start a career in IT security? I hope the speakers are able to find it in the chat box.
So I'll answer this question. Okay, it's good question. Even if you're not from IT background or from an engineering background, um, first is what you have to first study in which area you want to go. As you said, you are not from a IT background or from an engineering background. and I am suggesting you to identify your area. So, area in the sense, see, there are various areas available as a career option towards cybersecurity. One is what you can simply get into an area s- of support. Support means you can do short courses and you can get into an IT cybersecurity support. From there, you can learn how to manage, monitor these systems available for cybersecurity. For example, if you do a course related to EDR or SIMSOC, then in that case, your basics will get cleared. Apart from that, you will be trained to handle the dashboards of the system. So for you, the entry level courses are very important. So entry you can make through courses through which you can get into support and services kind of opportunity. From there you can learn, cyber security use and how to monitor, manage the tools available in it. And later in the journey you can decide in which tech area you have to enter. Then you decide if you want to be programmer, then get into programming skills. Want to go and handle skilled, practices in the cyber security like analyst, or you can say configuration kind of tools you have to use. Basis on that you can decide your career options. Yeah. So next question is, can you please suggest the university or college for making the career in cybersecurity? Friends, we cannot recommend a specific school or college where you can go and get trained on the side of, you can say, education. But just to guide you on the front, you can go inquire in the college. You can also have a rating reviewed on the social platforms, what type of college it is and what kind of courses they are offering to you. Ma'am, next.
So, any more questions from the participants?
Minister, you can also contribute in my views.
No, I think it's fine. It's fair.
So, someone says nowadays many lucrative offers are coming via Telegram and WhatsApp. How to identify the genuine offers which are actually helpful? Please guide.
Which are those offers means? Are those offer for careers or, for education? These offers are for generating extra income. Friend, I'll recommend you not to read such offers. Avoid reading such offers. Those are those are fake offers.
Someone says what kind of cybersecurity services uses in virtual reality based technology?
Come again, ma'am. What is that?
What kind of cyber security services use in virtual reality based technology?
Okay. Uh, I cannot termed it as a services, but I will termed it as a product. So on the ground of cyber security, and if your products and services are virtual, then there are various tools get used. One is what EDR, MDR, XDR, then anti-APT is one tool nowadays getting into shape to protect your virtual world, which detects, prevents the attacker presence in the network. So this is very latest, but this tool is now getting popular uh, to protect the virtual world. And on the contrary to it, the services associated with this tool will also get offered in the market. Seems or Yuba is also a tool which protects your virtual environment, and services associated with this tool also getting into a shape nowadays. I hope the I have answered the question.
Yes, any more questions from the participants?
Okay, is it necessary to use antivirus for laptop or use in virtual reality? Okay, use of Windows Defender is enough. Okay. Uh, okay, I'll answer like this. Okay. So Windows Defender normally protects, means Windows Defender is specifically specifically created to protect Windows internal core elements. That is one important objective of creating this particular defender. Second objective, it also protects some forms of threats, but it will not give you a complete protection. Thus, it is advisable to use antivirus on your laptop or uh, desktop or on the server.
Someone says, what is a firewall?
So firewall is basically a protection layer. So firewalls are available in two types. One is software-based firewall, and second is hardware-based firewall. Hardware-based firewall normally gets set up inline in your network, and software-based firewall gets set up on your, even on your desktop, laptop, or on your server, right? So it prevents the entry of an intruder in the system. Only specified, only specified means I will not term port, I will not term any logical system, because since the question is very basic and they will not understand it. A specific options which are giving an entry to an intruder in your system or in your network will be blocked with the use of firewall. I hope I have answered the question.
Someone says, what is the difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryption?
Minister, any comment from your side?
No.
Okay, so symmetric and asymmetric encryption. So what is encryption? That has to be understood first. So encryption is actually a technique through which you can encrypt your information or data. So why we encrypt data? That should be uh, clarified here, I think. So one is what? Data should be confidential, data should be integrated, and that data should be available. So thus we encrypt it. So symmetric encryption involves the technique through which a key will be shared and you can encrypt the data as and when needed. Asymmetric encryption where two keys will be exchanged, and if those two keys get matched, then the data will get encrypted or decrypted.
So, any more questions from the participants? Okay, so we have someone asking what are botnet attacks?
Botnet attack is actually attack through which data will get still from the system. Uh, this normally happens through sending large quantity of spam via an email to your system, launching DDoS attacks so as to disturb the systems. So this is basically an attack through which you steal. So attacker will steal your data.
Okay, Minesh, thank you for being a part. And next, we have a question for security reason. We should not share pass on email or WhatsApp. So, what will be the best tool to share pass with someone?
Friend, in the digital era, your password is your signature. How come you train someone to sign on behalf of you? This is what the answer I can give it to you in the form of a statement towards your question. So, pass should not be shared with anyone. Pass is personal property. I hope I have answered the question.
So, I think we have answered all the questions. And thank you so much, Mangesh sir. Oh, there's another question. Someone just put up not personal pass, but in company, if we would like to share, then what will be the way?
Uh, Pass should not be shared even if you are working for a company. If so, in that case, there has to be an agreement signed between two entities. Means I'm just quoting for the purpose of understanding. You are working for a bank wherein you are the owner of the application. Application means you have set up a payment gateway application on the server, where you are taking care of business of the bank in per se that payment gateway application. Your server team need access of your Windows operating system which is installed on the server, right? Then in that case there has to be an exchange of an email or some kind of document which indicates that you are sharing the password to him or her for the maintenance purpose. That is one. ठीक है? This document is legal document between two entities. Point number two. Once his or her job gets over by way of maintenance or by way of anything for which he or she took a access of the server, then in that case when he or she will return that pass to you, you should ensure that pass is getting changed immediately. Yes, ma'am. I have answered the question.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Mangesh sir, for giving us your valuable time and being a part of this
Thank
productive
you.
webinar. And I hope we have answered all the questions and hope this webinar was fruitful. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Amit Joshi for vote of thanks. Okay, there are some network issues with Mr. PC, not an issue. Thank you, sir, for attending this webinar. Thank you, all the participants. Once again, thank you all the speakers, Minesh Doshi sir and Dr. Mangesh Amale. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, and I wish you and KCCI a great success in future. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, sir.